United Committee Manipur reiterates Manipur's boundary cannot be compromised to facilitate pathway to Myanmar under India's ACIS policy. Tourism Director W.E. Beholt expresses concern endangered Shiri lily might become extinct due to negligence and careless attitude of visitors. Ukrul MLA Rant Muiva calls for joint efforts to save Shiri lily. All Zelarong Art and Culture Organization and Kanglei Indigenous Art and Culture Society warned against a misinterpretation of traditional attires and dance of communities during Lai Harova. Manipur reports one positive case of COVID-19 out of 93 samples tested in past 24 hours. No fatality. Daily COVID positive rate stands at 1.07%. And India reports 3,712 new COVID-19 cases, 2,584 recoveries and 5 deaths in case in past 24 hours. Active COVID cash load rise to 19,509. Hello and welcome to Impact News. You're watching Primetime English Bulletin and KANEL SHAMBANDURAM with you. To stay protected from coronavirus, wash your hands frequently, wear your masks properly and maintain a safe distance from one another. Now, the news in details. United Committee Manipur UCM reiterates that it will never negotiate the territory of Manipur along the Indo-Myanmar frontiers to facilitate pathway to Myanmar under India's ACIS policy. Speaking to media at United Committee Manipur's office in Lumphel today, UCM President Joy Chandra Konthaujam warned that UCM will launch intense agitation if the ongoing work of putting up the fence at the controversial border pillar 80 and 81 areas were not stopped latest by June 20. He recalls that UCM apprised Chief Minister Nongluan Biren and Union Minister of State for External Affairs Dr. R.K. Ranjan about the encroachment of Manipur's territory along the Indo-Myanmar border pillars last year, upon which they have assured to look into the matter. Joy Chandra expressed discontentment that the UCM team came across fencing in these controversial sites by compromising around 1 kilometer length of Manipur's land during their recent inspection visit. He appealed to the state leaders to take prompt action to stop the ceding of Manipur's land to the neighboring country of Myanmar, else warns of intense agitation.
If Funa Tambira, Iking, Yalaga Tamba, I quiggy Lang Kaivi Arwena, Tawaina Fonta, Fik of a sing dog, Makogi Oiba, Hike like a Chulavinina, I quit Jungi Town, Kun Power, I quit Matam Fizagani, Kaiguma Jungi Town, Kungi Matunda, hide of a fencing Karava, Natraga, I quina hide what Tabuk Tormsing the Pika Tagadi, I quit Togani Havidumiam, the Long Toxeri, Manipurgi, sit home for the Famiba, Assembly member Kudima, Puning Changbio, I quit Long Quay, I quit Itogani, Centralgi, or Tabuk, or Gazo, State Kitchen Minister, Amadi State Minister, Sing Kumna Kana Viraga Tabuk Tom Singje, Nium Sumna, Taurobakanda, Mating Lebon Punk and Manipur.
State Tourism Director W.E. Beholt expressed concerns that the endangered Shiri lily might become extinct due to negligence and careless attitude of visitors. Speaking exclusively to Impact News today, the Tourism Director said visitors were found polluting the Shiri hills and breaking the stems of the endemic Shiri lily during the recently conducted Shiri Lily Festival 2022. W.E. Beholt also expressed worry that Shiri Lily festivals would become a factor for extinction of Shiri lily. He said the festival held from May 25 to 28 was far from the objective of the festival on responsible and sustainable tourism. He appealed for concrete efforts in protecting the state flower. Beholt maintained that as per the directive of Chief Minister, Shiri Lily Flower Protection Committee has been set up to keep a check on the situation, adding that construction of a footpath and fencing will be initiated at the Shiri Hills to protect the Shiri Lily at its habitat.
yamna tanglaba endanger oiraba siroi lily flowers se masi kansi yokhat binasi protection pc haibagi appeal tawjariba adugi ona tenabada siroi lily je paksana naithat piramba hatok piramba yamna thangnare masi mak oiragadi festival asi sillaga hena lay asida mangna bagi masaga mar lai miyam lakpa heman khibana koi control tawba ngam khidaba kharasu lay koi gi manipur gi praja miyam amadi atopa state gi laiba praja miyam punu khudimakta koina department gi makedagi appeal tawjaring baje asigumba isagi lamni isagi state flower ni koi department khakta da inthokbi nattaba isana daita khangna koi gi sinjariba festival se responsible and sustainable festival ama oina bhonabada mayamna appeal tawbiyu.
Ukrul MLA Ramd Muiba expressed apprehension at the declining blooms of Shiri lily. He appeals to visitors not to harm the natural habitat of the endemic species by polluting the hill log or plucking the state flower. He said villagers have resolved to take measures against polluting the hill log by throwing used plastics bottles and wrappers by trekkers and other visitors. He said Shiri villagers have appealed to repair the water tank at the Shiri hilltop so that visitors do not have to carry water bottles anymore. The Ukrul MLA also highlighted the plights facing visitors owing to heavy traffic jam as the only road leading to the hill log from Ukrul town is singled land road. Stating that the organizing committee of the festival did not get adequate time for arranging the Shiri Lily festival this year, he expressed happiness that around 6,000 people climbed the Shiri peak and more than 25,000 people visited Ukrul on the last day of the festival.
Shiri Ching the Kabashi Nitigi not less than 6,000. Tambaki Mishika Hibani. Adubu, Moina Kab to the Equadiam Noai, Adubu, Ching Matak to the plastic yam, no Hontopishitauba, plastic bottle. As Ainahan 29 to Aishu, Shiri Pig Power Salurabani. Aduga Leishu Yam head pig hiba. Aduna, human pressure si Yaman Badegi, on the western slope of the Shiri Pig she, flower si Gaya later. Equina, eastern slope that Yam steep boiba. Although that Serpa candidate 29 power she Shiri si Yam Pajana Shatlami. Aina Mayam da Shumaina appeal to anybody, Mohishi most welcome ni Shiri pick the lag bashi. Adobo Shiri Lili di Hek Biganu, that's right, Biganu, Adoga plastic Mayam the Huntok Biganu, Mashi a hiding buddy.
Warns against misinterpretation of cultural heritage of communities during Lai Harauba. Speaking to media at KAIMEC's office in the palace compound today, ZACO Secretary Golmai Iravat Kabui said exhibiting the traditional dance, song and attire is a good step to promote the rich culture of Manipur. However, modified and commercial version of this traditional heritage in the past few years is condemnable. Taking part in the press meet, KAIMEC's Art and Cultural Society Secretary Eld Sanjeed said inappropriate exhibition of the cultural heritage of Manipur in a commercial manner to please some VIPs should be stopped immediately.
Khangdragasu amu akhangba abuidabu oiro maugidabu oiro maitaigidabu oiro tangkhulgidabu oiro any akhangba amada hangba dakar oi masi hangagadi khaitang oiragasu sumthokpa ngamgadra haina khali
Say China Carino, Tilly, Kong, Carino, Tori, Monse, a quay sharp, Meteo, so quite about Paulus, my idea of approaching the Cariana, Paul, the gate of Hoyam, no matter one pause of that. I don't know, like the way the Miri was asking the people in the section that was Saint Anbaki Kalaga, the back kind of another Kamu machine wine, the rhythm of one another among the Saturdays a big.
Various civil society organizations of the Mar community declared to ban poppy cultivation in Mar inhabited areas in support of state government's war on the drug campaign. Representatives of these civil society organizations meet with Chief Minister Nongthombam Birren at Chief Minister's Secretariat and extended their support today. It may be mentioned that various other communities have already extended their support to the campaign. Chief Minister Nongthombam Birren, Commerce and Industry Minister Nemcha Kipgand, along with top officials of Manipur government, convened a meeting with the Managing Director of Yazaki India Private Limited, Prashnath Nayak, to discuss setting up of a wiring harness plant in the state. State government aims at marketing wiring harnesses outside the state by establishing the plant. Yazaki Corporation is one of the leading wire harness suppliers in the world. Chief Minister Nongthombam Birren expressed belief that more than 1,500 individuals, particularly women, will get job opportunity if the wiring harness plant established under the Yazaki Corporation in the near future. BJP Manipur Pradesh workers will go from place to place and interact with the general public with an aim to reach out public welfare schemes to beneficiaries in every nook and corner of the state. The public outreach program under the initiative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP National President JP Nadda will continue till June 15th, marking the completion of 8 years of BJP-led government at the centre. Speaking to media at BJP had office at Nitai Pachuthek today, BJP State President A. Sharda said the public outreach program was initiated following BJP's ideology on integral humanism. She said that each BJP worker will work for at least 75 hours interacting with the masses. Sarda added that Chief Minister Nongthombam Birren has already instructed relevant officials to form committees led by an IAS officer or MCS officer to carry out the program.
सरकार अमगा प्रजा सिंगगी मरक्ता भारतीय जनता पार्टी की लेरो वर्कर सिंगसिना ब्रीज ओइरकांदा अखोय हारिबा प्रोग्राम सिंगसी मपुंग फाना बेनिफिट फंगनना बहोननबगी स्टेपनी अदुगा मरु ओइना अखोय पार्टी की कार्यकर्ता सिंगसी अखोय रेस्पोंसिबल कार्यकर्ता सिंगसिना अखोय पार्टी तौरिबनी हाइदना नेम सेक तौबन नतबा 75 आवर्स पार्टी की कार्यकर्ता अमममना पार्टी की दमकता हाइबदी पीपल्स की वेलफेयर तौननबगी दमकता
Expressing conviction that Congress will return to power in India by 2024, Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee MPCC accuses BJP of summoning Congress President Sonia Gandhi and MP Rahul Gandhi in a money laundering case by utilizing Enforcement Directorate in fear of losing its power. Speaking to media at Congress Bhavan and Birth Kendrajit wrote today, MPCC senior spokesperson Ningombam Bhupender said Chetan Sivri is being held at Rajasthan's Udaipur for the success of the Congress party at centre and Manipur in the coming elections. He said as part of the program, the MPCC also organized 2-day state-level Nav Sankalp meeting of Chetan Shivir on June 1 and 2 in Manipur, during which MPCC's Political Affairs Committee unanimously selected 16 members. The committee members includes MPCC President K. Megachandra, CLP leader Okram Ibobi, CWC member Gai Khangam, Deputy CLP leader K. Ranjit and other eminent Congress leaders. Bhupender said the meeting took 10 resolutions, including finalizations of jurisdiction and constructions of Mandal Congress Committee to conduct a 75-kilometer-long Padayatra starting August 2022 to culminate the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Agitation programmed on the price rise, unemployment and other issues, etc.
Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji amasung akhoi Sri Rahul Gandhi ji da ED saman thakibadu madu akhoi Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee na madu political bhendata ni madu gumbadu handaki recently pangthokhiba Rajasthan gi Udaipur da Chintan Sivir haidana namit khumni pangthokhiba madu gumma mifam madu dagi 2024 sida akhoi Congress ki sarkar ama lakadaure haibagi akiba leibadagi Bharat sarkar na Enforcement Directorate asi politically siznare haiga asugumba makalgi samantha asi koina masi purely laiba Bharat ki lenga asi ki declining the natana asi koina political bhenata amani haina laujai.
Lamphal police station has arrested a rape case against 30-year-old Gaigong Din Kamei, son of Kamei Khaikpo of Nungba 4, Betne, Nungba subdivision, Tamelong district. The accused allegedly raped a young woman from a place under Lamphal police station in Imphal West district after driving her away to a secluded place yesterday in his olive green color Bolero bearing registration number AR01E6035 on the pretext of assaulting. Impact News sources say the accused man threatened the young woman after raping her several times and left her in an unknown location near Fishery Gate, Lamphal. Today, passerby rescued the victim and handed over to Lamphal police station. Some persons who claimed themselves as staff of Forest Department today showed up at the Pauna Market Imphal in an attempt to seize beetled leaves from dealers. They claimed that they were following the directive of State Forest Minister. Upon questioning by betel leaf dealers over the reason for trying to seize betel leaves, the suspected forest staff said they were following the order of State Forest Minister and left the venue. When Impact News team rushed to Pauna Market, those people who claimed themselves as Forest Department employees were not present at the scene. In connection with this, a proprietor of Kanglei Betel Leaves Farm, Naurem Tomba, informed media that a case regarding the seizure of a truck load with betel leaves without any reason is already pending at the court. Tomba also demanded the Forest Minister for clarification.
Mamangda koigi Central Forest Division da DI lot ama manatra tu yaw boma faraga phabagi maram ju pide adum tawre adu matungda mu High Court ta case tawre court na 14 May da phariba manam handokirina bana adu hapta ama manungda Forest Department na thau paikhat kadabne na direction pigrabani court na de adu hujik fo kaim to paikhatte aduga ngasi si koigi Forest Minister na tharak pone haiduna bazar da drive ama chathaduna ko amana je phaler mani adu khoi team kangu thengna bade khuna bade possible di lahore adu minister na phau khol ona Central Division Aro Ratan gi makhada lakone hai aduna si karmo mo karino Forest Minister na tharak kone na drive lakose akhoi gyan tadre mantri na knowledge laibibo oirgadi kamai tawno amtang sengdok pirak nawana khanganjari.
City Police carried out coordinated search operation at Thangal Bazaar today. Commando team of around 50 personnel verified around 135 people at Dharmashala, Boragali, Ngari Gali and Yaima store stretch. 4 persons without proper identification proof were taken to City Police Station for further verification. Manipur reported 1 positive case of COVID-19 out of 93 samples tested in the past 24 hours. Daily COVID positivity rate stands at 1.07%. COVID active cash load rises to 10. As per the latest report from State Health Department and COVID-19 Command Control Room, the coronavirus has affected 137,241 people and claimed 2,120 lives in the state so far. With 0 recovered cases in the past 24 hours, total recovered cases are still at 135,111. Recovery rate also remains at 98.45%. Well, now it's time for a small commercial break. After the break, we bring you updates on coronavirus cases in India and the world. We will be back with details after the break. Until then, keep watching Impact News.
SNS Gold Private Limited India most trusted gold buying company Imphal branch hangzare company asina pijariba facility singdi sana kaiba gold carat matching ke matengna adom gi sana gi quality khangdoklaba matungda best price ta sana kaiba yagani gold loan amasung sana bandop hanba ngamdaba singi gold settlement tongzari cash in 5 minutes akupa marol gi damak makha gi address asida langsin birau SNS Gold Private Limited New Checkol Imphal branch. Admission open. Triangle Tutorial Center TTC Moto Career Path start here. Sangai Pro Mamang Laikai near Little Flower School da Kosem na Lauba Class 11 amadi 12 Science ki Foundation course Jun Taraga Mangal Ishingani Kundani Thoitagi Hozaragani Experience Lairaba Oza Kayana Physics, Chemistry, Biology amadi Maths Takpi Tambigani. Form available from 20th May 2022. Akupa Marol Gidamak 8837291003 Natraga 7421818857. Presto Personalized Wonders Imphal da nauna hangdok chere hairiba asida personalized gifts, corporate gifts, awards and mementos, home decor, office rubber stamp na chingba potlam sing mafam asida phangbigani ngasi maglangsing birau Tilak Ras Enterprises Presto Thangal Bazar near Kasturi Thong Imphal. Contact number 0385-244-9025 Natraga 98621-00456.
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching Primetime English Bulletin. India added 3,712 new COVID-19 cases, 2,584 recoveries and 5 deaths case in last 24 hours. As per the latest report of Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, India's COVID-19 active cash load are 19,509. Total recoveries are 4,26,20,394. Recovery rate stands at 98.74%. Death toll reaches at 5,24,641. Over 193 crore 70 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in India so far. Globally, coronavirus has infected above 53 crore 36 lakh 79,000 people. It has claimed above 63 lakh 16,000 people, and recoveries are above 50 crore 46 lakh 49,000. United States of America has the highest active cases of above 28 lakh 11,000 in the world. Manipuri communities in Tripura expressed concern that Manipuri community will become a minority group in Tripura if efforts are not made to maintain work culture and keeping a check on selling of land to non-locals. Speaking to Impact News on the Manipuri residents, one of the Manipuri residents of Kameshwar village in Tripura, now named Vijendra, said Tripuri and Manipuri groups, which were once the two largest communities in Tripura, are now minorities as a result of a native selling of land to Bangladeshi Bengali people and owing to lack of work culture among the natives. He lamented that indigenous people in Tripura are literally out of taking control of governance and economy. Vijendra underlined on the native populace of Manipur taking preventive measures to avoid facing the same fate as native of Tripura did.
Paipu Hakatadi low pum Mase Ekoi Day Nataleramba Kaka Tautona Marbaka Mayanga Johnson Na Bedegidi Huji Koi Kong Tabam Leshalactere Matamadadi Koi Kamasor Haiba Kunchigadi Metina Rao Ponchak Punalerami Odhande China member de China Metai Nata Jahabu Tavuk Torachu, Mete Jauda di Jaro, Metena Lucina Leramiado, Hojik Tadi, Mete Jauda Suzare, Hojik Tadi Moji Makuta Changrelona, Adona, Bijamuni Budala, Jamna, Hajaningi, Koinawari Bases on the Wahan in there.
Manipur Handloom and Handicrafts Development Corporation Limited kicked off the 14-day State Handloom Expo 2022 under the aegis of the Union Ministry of Textile at Tripura's Avyanagar Puthiba Lampak today. Deputy Director of Ministry of Textiles Lakshman C.S. Vaks, Joint Editor of the Marut Daily R.K. Tarunjit, Puthiba Laiharauba Committee President and Niranjan Datta, and Manager of the Manipur Handloom and Handicraft Development Corporation Thongam Rabi attended the inaugural event. 50 stalls from Manipur and 10 stalls from Tripura are exhibiting various handloom products during the expo. Oinamd Dina from the Hyanglamd Hiranmei from the Kakching district seek assistance from kind-hearted people in the state for medical treatment of his 9-year-old little sister who is suffering from kidney failure. Dina's parents have already died. Speaking to media, Dina said his father, who was the sole bread earner of the family, passed away in a road mishap in 2014, and his mother also died of cancer in 2020. He added that his parental grandmother died only a few days after his mother's demise. He said their land was sold off to bear the medical bills of their mother's cancer treatment. Dina told media that doctors have informed that one of the kidneys of his little sister has failed to function.
Kena tahu semaga yang isi itu semada yadar kadi lok thok se hai ba untuk ni dah kan dok sok puding orang itu pesang cari tuam je kaya juga sadam na ama na mayam ama jina kacu tahu tadi tungkoi na si sang dom hingga ada ina yang orang pesang cari tuam untuk kaya juga na tai sadam na mayang mateng kalau raga sanje tu na yang bagi jama je lok thok lagi na kanja.
Meanwhile, after getting to know of Dina's story, Chief Minister Nonthuan Birain sent his younger brother and Rajendro, alias Boy, to his residence today. Rajendro assured Dina that arrangement will be made to admit his sister at Jenims. He said Jenims director has been already informed to start the girl's treatment within a couple of days. The Chief Minister's brother added that Kakching DC and Kakching MLA have also been informed to start the construction of the new house for their siblings once little girl's treatment is done.
Jikse sanse purga koi challenge tuga director ka tarukan athubuda LSC ge hapta maximum ga operation dei pangthon ne ha thaja dile mai mai pose queen thamju yadre yum ji mai Facebook to ubuni alo huji yam ngai se tendo koi disina pi ni haire somdo ge ran so ko yum nu MLA na sani ha ne sani lore akoi ne jang ka pa simai to ma ge awa basma ko man imung ji no pu de san kwasi.
Students of 2nd MR Unit Junior High School, along with officers and personnel of 2nd Manipur Rifles, took out a rally in connection with the World Environment Day on the 5th of June. The rally starts from the 2nd MR, reached Dulaland and concluded at the initial point. Speaking on the sideline, headmaster of 2nd MR Unit Junior High School, Faume Akind urged all to nurture the sapling planted every year on World Environment Day. A painting competition was also held at the school and prizes were distributed to winners. Deputy Commandant of 2nd Manipur Rifles, Suraj, police officers T.H. Vidyapati and Bashu also attended the event.
Ngasi World Environment Day gi mari lainana moibu putoga rally macha ama public singda akhoi World Environment Day gi se gi mari laina akhoi moi gi kari tawdoino environment laitarga di akhoi mioi basing se wani khotni aduga u wa thana ba khotna bagi dama
tang message PP na bareli ko chat pani.
Prescribed Jelarung United Front ZUF demands companies and agencies of both central and state projects to take prior permission from the front before carrying out any works in Jelarung areas. Press note from the front's Information and Publicity Department also banned quarrying activities for carrying out construction of a trained Trans-Asian Railway line or the duty-bound Imphal railway line, national highways and other developmental works in Jelarung areas as it affects the ecosystem. Result of the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test for Postgraduate NEET PG 2022 has been declared. This time, the National Board of Examination in Medical Sciences NBEMS has released the NEET PG results in record 10 days. Students can check their results on the netboard.edu.in. The examination was conducted on 21st of May. Union Health Minister Dr. Manshukh Mandavia congratulated all students who have qualified for NEET PG with flying colors. As per the board, the cut-off score for the general categories and EWS students for NEET PG stands at 275 marks out of 800. For persons with disabilities in the unreserved category, it is 260, and for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes candidate, the cut-off score is 245. The board also said that 2 questions were found to be technically incorrect as it has more than 1 options in the question paper. Full mark have been awarded for these questions. The merit positions for All India 50% quota seats shall be declared separately. Final merit list or category-wise merit list for state quota seats shall be generated by the state and union territories as per their qualifying or eligibility criteria. A bank manager from Rajasthan was shot dead by armed miscreants in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam today. This was the weighted targeted killing and second targeted attack of a non-Muslim government employees in the past 3 days. Shiv Sena, along with Hindu employees, staged protest demonstration condemning the incident and demanding security measures for Hindu communities in Jammu and Kashmir. This is bank manager is Ilak Dehati Bank ad Array Mohanpura branch in South Kashmir is Vijay Kumar. CCTV footage shows the killer entering the bank, firing a shot and fleeing. He received gunshot injuries and died on his way to a hospital. On May 31, Rajni Bala, a Hindu women teacher from the Samba district, was shot dead at a government school in Gopalpura, Kulgam. Now, the news from the world of sports. Sports Authority of India has observed its 34th Foundation Day at the indoor hold of SAI STC in Kumalam Park. YAS Director T. Fulend, SAINERC Regional Director Francis Marvind, SAI NERC Imphal Directors Lalmin Hang, SAI STC Imphal Deputy Directors Dronachari Awardee LD Ibomcha and eminent members of SAI STC Imphal attended the event yesterday. It may be mentioned that out of 20 Arjuna awardees from Manipur, SAI SAG has produced 11 from various sports events since 1999. Out of the 19 Olympians from Manipur since 1984, SAI SAG Imphal has produced 9 Olympians since 2000. 3 players of SAI have bagged Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, 2 have bagged a Padma Shri Award. Boxer Mary Kom has bagged a Padma Bhushan and Padma Veer Bhushan. It has also produced 4 international players and 42 national level players since 2019. Sai NERC Regional Director Francis Madhavind said Sai NERC Imphal aims to produce more Olympians, international and national level players in the coming days.
This center was #1 in producing the number of nationals and international sports person during those days. It's a very, very good achievement for this center, and I hope in due course of time more and more national, international, including Olympians, we will be able to see from this center. Perhaps for achieving that target which have been set by the athletes and by the coaches could be possible only if you have the discipline. I have heard about the prizes given away just now, in which the prizes were also there for educational achievement.
RCA Tyre Makong will meet SYDO Samburu Makong in the final match of the 4th TDCA League Cum Knockout T20 cricket tournament under the aegis of Thobald District Cricket Association on June 4. In the 20th league match played today, RCA Tyren Makong defeated AKSDO Khangabok by 5 wickets. Batting first, AKSDO Khangabok secured 82 runs by losing 7 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. In reply, RCA Tyren Makong secured 85 runs in 11 overs and 5 balls with 5 wickets down. All-rounder of RCA Tyren Makong, Samir, who secured 48 runs in 24 balls, was declared as the man of the match. Assam will host the upcoming Hero Women's Junior Under-17 National Football Championship under the aegis of All India Football Federation at Guwahati starting June 15. Old Manipur Football Association has selected 30 players in the second trial camp coaching for the championship. The selected players includes 4 goalkeeper, 10 defender, 9 midfielder and 7 forward players. Ampha Press Note informed the selected footballers of various clubs whose registration expired by May 31st to renew their registration at the earliest. Manipuri Olympian Shushila Likmabam has been selected by Judo Federation of India in the 48 kg category judo event of Birmingham Commonwealth Games 2022. The federation has shortlisted 7 other women players and 2 men players from Manipur in different weight categories. Selected women players are M. Sanatombi in the 48 kg category, Sarda Devi and Rani Devi in 52 kg, Suni Bala Chanu and Chauba Chanu in 63 kg categories, Enunganbi Devi in 70 kg category and Indu Bala Devi in 78 kg category. Shortlisted men players are and Jagadish in 66 kg categories and L. Suresh in 73 kg category. Round of 16th matches of the 5th Lamlai Kendra Village-wise Men's Open 9-a-side football tournament will start from tomorrow at the playground of Lamlai Students Idol Club. Altogether, 29 teams are participating in the ongoing tournament being organized by Lamlai Students Idol Club. Well, that's all we have in this bulletin, but before we wind up, let's take a glimpse at the headlines once again. United Committee Manipur UCM reiterates Manipur's boundary cannot be compromised to facilitate pathway to Myanmar under India's AGIS policy. Tourism Director W.E. Behold expressed concerned endangered Shiri lily might become extinct due to negligence and careless attitude of visitor. Accrued Emily Ram Puiva calls for joint efforts to save Shiri lily. All Zeliarong Art and Culture Organization and Kanglei Indigenous Art and Culture Society warned against misinterpretation of traditional attires and dance of communities during Lai Harauba. Manipur reports one positive case of COVID-19 out of 93 samples tested in past 24 hours. No fatality. Delhi COVID positivity rate stands at 1.07%. And India reports 3,712 new COVID-19 cases, 2,584 recoveries and 5 deaths case in past 24 hours. Active COVID cash load rises to 19,509. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Coming up next is Primetime Manipur Bulletin. In the meantime, for more news and information, please do not hesitate to follow Impact TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. Until then, have a great evening and always stay safe.
Mama, I singar khajuga piyo.
Oh, pige.
Tasau hotel ke posit si bukam daurige.
Corona ka lagi pasida posit se. Ya, dre tauri se.
Siti chore